Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. If you hear a bunch of noise in the background, it's purely because I'm doing laundry. It's on the other side of this wall and it's noisy. I'm not sure if my filters will block it out. So if you hear anything weird, that's what that is. Anyway, so here we have Final Destination of Ark and Step of Terror, the two songs that I didn't get to in the last Blue Archive video. And of course, now we have to get to them. So I guess without further ado, let's jump right into it, shall we? Let's go. For the record, I'll be starting with Final Destination of Ark purely because it comes before Step of Terror in the numerical order, so that's the only reason I'm doing this. Oh god, that took longer to build in than I thought. Big brass, big vocals. Gotta be one of my favorite genders. Kind of got industrial electronic in there too. Just a very, very strong melody line. Woo. I love that synth. It almost sounds like Dark Splatoon. And the halftime. Loves me the halftime. Ooh, we're going back. Okay. Okay, I just had the weirdest thought. Doom Splatoon. I'm not crazy saying that, am I? You hear it too? I hope you hear it too. I don't want to be the weird one. But yeah, anyway, this song is huge. It sounds exactly like the Final Destination of Ark. Like the name works so perfectly with the sound. And obviously that's usually the goal there, but it just had such a big presence to it. All of these like dark chords that were hanging over your head the whole time and dragging you through. That synth was really bitey. It had a lot of room, but for some reason also felt very driven. I think it might have been like an overdriven synth that was just widened a little bit. I'm not entirely sure if that's the case, but it definitely had that energy to it. It was just this big, it had the sting of something that is overdriven with like heavy compression and a lot of like texture on the synth, but also enough room to have all these other instruments and sounds playing around them, like being supported by those heavy brass instruments. So that was just really nice. And the halftime, I am a sucker for, as we all know by now. It's just good. To me, drummer boy, it is so good to have halftime. Just headbang fuel. That's all it needs to be. And this song makes me want to go fight demons in the underworld. And that's kind of why I said Doom Splatoon, because it still had the playfulness in the synth, but it was definitely dark, and the notes, of course, being a lot heavier as well, felt just so much more important. It had so much beef on that sandwich. But I'll digress there. Let's move on to Step of Terror, shall we? All right. We got this like I'm hearing these like hollow bells. Yeah, played in reverse maybe? Interesting percussive choice. Just a driven beat. This one almost sounds like it would be a menu theme. Am I right? Am I correct on that? Might be. Because it definitely, it's got that looping energy. It's like no matter where you pause it or where you start it, it'll fit. Ooh. Oh, very, very thin, like a little splash symbol there at the end. Okay, so like I said, that one had a very heavy loop energy. I feel like that's maybe the background music for a menu system, or could be a fight, I suppose, like a more casual one. Definitely not a boss theme at all. I know what the boss themes of this game sound like, and they are bigger than that. But all in the same, it had this driving force, like it was like, come on, make a decision, do it, do the thing. And I know I mentioned it like 10 seconds ago, but that splash symbol, that like thin crash at the end to finish the song off, felt very final. It had this crispiness to it. You're just like, oh, that's the end. And like it didn't just cut off. It didn't feel abrupt despite how harsh the cymbal sound was. It was surprisingly inviting. I don't know what the purpose of that is. Maybe just to finish off the song, but I feel like with how the rest of the song is structured, it's meant to loop endlessly or for hours, something that is in the background while you're doing a long segment of game, whatever it may be, and it's just designed to keep going in that loop and having every couple of measures repeat so you don't get entirely fatigued. It was very straightforward on exactly what it was trying to do. It was just filling the space it needs to while you're doing something else in the game. I find it interesting that it's called Step of Terror because like while it did have some interesting things in there like that the bell and the I think a reversed bell sound even. Like Step of Terror, that title comes with a lot of weight, right? Like I can't be the only one thinking that either. Like just hearing that. I know that doesn't have to be a perfect parallel like the Final Destination of Ark was like exactly as I expected it to sound. This one I almost expected a little bit more, but I also understand why it was a little less. So I don't know. I find this weird middle ground with how I'm processing this song. Not bad by any means. It does exactly what it's supposed to. But just like all the other songs I've heard from KARUT in this game, it's just good. It's just well done. It serves the purpose and doesn't overstay its welcome and doesn't try too hard to be something it's not. When sometimes you just need a background theme, right? So I really like that one. But I think I've said all I can say on that one. So if you like this video and you want to see more of these, leave a comment down below with a grouping of like 2 or 3 songs. I try to do them in groups if there's any that relate to each other, and I'll try to get to them next. If there's a comment with like significantly more likes, I usually go to that one first. It just helps keep things straight for me to be able to follow. Aside from that, if you want to follow me and support me and all that mess, you know how to do that, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!